Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to change the oil on a Ford Escape. This is going to be for the 2-liter engine EcoBoost. It's a very simple process and hopefully it'll save you some money. So let's get started. Alright, so the tools you're going to need for this project, you're going to need a socket set with a 15mm socket. You're going to need an oil filter removal tool. You're also going to need a T30 Torx bit, and this is going to be to remove the cover underneath the car. I recommend using a drill, it's going to speed up the process. If you have a jack, it's also going to give you a little bit more clearance underneath the car. There's also a jack underneath your spare tire in your trunk and some jack stands for some added safety. You're also going to need the oil. So for this car, it requires 5W30. I'm going with full synthetic high mileage Mobil 1. It does require 5.7 quarts. So you're going to need at least 6 quarts total to fill your engine back up once you drain it out. And then also you're going to need a new oil filter. This is the XG3614. I'll leave a link down in the description below of all the tools and products I use for this project. Alright, once you get the driver's side jacked up, you're going to come in here, you're going to take this cover off. It's held up by these screws, and for my car these are a T30 bit. Alright, should be about 9 screws, so just set them off to the side. Go ahead and remove the cap or loosen it, just that's going to allow the air to flow through, so you just leave it like that. Alright, once you get the cover off, you're going to be removing the bolt on the back of the oil pan. It's a 15mm. Make sure you get your pan underneath to catch the oil as it comes out. Careful to drop it in, and then let that all drain out. So next we're going to take off the oil filter, which is right here. Just take your oil filter removal tool, like this, get it up on there, and these are going to turn counterclockwise. So once you do this, it will start leaking, so make sure you have your pan. And once you get it turned just a little bit, you should be able to get it off the rest of the way with your hand. There we go. Drain for a second. Okay. There's going to be oil inside the filter, so just be careful when you take it off. Set it down in the pan like that. Take your new filter and rub a little bit of that oil on the seal. That's just going to give it a good seal once it gets up against that motor. Okay. And you just want to hand tighten this. It doesn't need to be over tightened. Just get it nice and tight with your hand. I'm going to clean that off first. Alright, just get it hand tight, clean everything off. Go ahead and put your plug back in. And your oil pan. 15mm socket, just tighten it back up. Like that. So with an oil change and a filter change, it takes 5.7 quarts. So I'm going to be using a 5-quart jug, and then you're also going to need a single quart. Just pour this entire thing in. So now we're going to pour in 0.7 quarts. So that will leave us about 300 milliliters left. And then we'll check it and we'll add more as needed. It's a good idea to also inspect your O-ring, make sure there's not any cracks or damages on it. This one looks good. Just put it back on. And you're good to go. Check your oil level, make sure it's up to the line. It might be a little bit over. And that's because the oil has not gotten into the filter yet. So go ahead and start it up, let it run for a few minutes, and then once the engine cools down a little bit, then check it again. Engine's cooled down, you're going to want to check the oil level. And you want to make sure that it's in between that crosshatch pattern. Alright, so once you're done, make sure there's no leaks and then replace your cover. Alright, well that's how you change the oil on a Ford Escape. If you found the video helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.